Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Young Sheldon. This is the 7th episode of the 5th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put a password in, and enjoy. Last episode, interestingly, Missy had a lot of questions about growing up, about sex, and the new teacher, he wanted to discuss it with the class, and Mary was like, look mate, the parents, I believe, should be the ones that are having this conversation. So she's tried to with Missy and she stormed off. She's felt awkward. She's like, nah, I'm not having none of this. And it's caused a stir with her and her friends at school. You know, people are not speaking to her now because obviously Mary's kind of proposed that this conversation takes place and all the other kids are feeling awkward and upset about it. And it's actually, you know, being a negative impact on Missy. She's not happy about it at all. Interestingly as well, you know, we've seen Georgie's come up with the idea of people coming and, you know, playing games in you know, Connie's new shop. Basically, when they win, they exchange the tokens for a teddy, which they'll buy back to the value of the tokens in dollars, and that's how people receive the funds. It's a grey area, and you know, he wanted 5%. Connie didn't really want to pay it, to be honest. She wanted to keep all the profits to herself. She was loving it. She was making loads of it. And we seen at the end of the episode, the guy, Dale's mate, the policeman that come and shut the establishment down the first time for illegal gambling, has come in, and instead of shutting it down, because it is a grey area, he's tried to blackmail her and he wants 10% of all the cuts, and you seen her like dishing all the cash onto the table at the end, fuming about it. So she didn't want to give any money out to Georgia, and now she's got to give it out to the police. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do to stay in business now, haven't you? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes and plays out. If you do enjoy today's episode, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Engineering has a rich and storied history. I'm sorry, Howard, I can't do this.
You asked me to write you an introduction to engineering.
Yes, and if I wanted a comedy routine, I'd have gone to Billy Crystal.
Back to ancient times. Some consider it the single most important field of study known to man, International Space Station, which I went to.
Honestly, this again?
Like, we don't hear about your Nobel Prize all the time. Just tell your story.
I miss
My
that.
history with engineering began spring semester of my freshman year.
Oh.
In this course, we're going to apply the principles of static mechanical forces. This class started at 0900, so...
I appreciate your use of the 24-hour time format.
1 minute in, and I was already his favorite.
You know what? Military time, you love to see it. The amount of Americans that I see that have no idea how to tell that time is ridiculous. Honestly, it really is ridiculous. If I said to you, gun to the head right now, 20:47, what time is that? Would you know that's 47 minutes past 8? Because you, like, I would say most people wouldn't. You'd have to have 8 p.m. I literally hate it. Like, most default objects that come out of the box in the US is set at PM and AM. That's why you hear, like, what time? I'll meet you at 7 p.m. No, do you know what I mean? You don't literally say 1900. It's crazy. Military time, it's the way forward.
This course is about practical applications.
Sheldon Cooper.
Son, I'll learn your name if you make it to midterms. Right now, you're just a number to me.
Ooh, can I be number 1? That's what Captain Picard calls Commander Riker on Star Trek Next Generation.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing. I just called to say hello.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I've done that my entire life.
Got another call.
Oh,
Hi, June. What's going on?
I know you have a hair appointment this afternoon, but I'm going to have to cancel. Busted my knee up pretty good.
Dale, no?
Oh, not yet. Yeah, you can tell him.
I'm on the phone with June. She hurt her knee.
So embarrassing. I slipped on a glob of hair gel at the salon.
nice.
He locked the doors and wouldn't let any latecomers in.
Seems a little harsh.
He's so intolerant, it's fantastic. Instead of using my name, he gave me a number. Number 1, like Riker on Star Trek. But number 2 is also good. Like, he built bridges all over the world.
You know, I was also in the Army.
Ooh, perhaps you trudged across one of his bridges.
Dad did cool Army stuff too.
Nope. Trudging sums it up.
Bonnie and Dale, don't shoot. So how's it going? Do you have anybody to help you out?
Oh, yeah. These little guys.
We're here for you.
That's right. 100%.
For your design assignments, you may decide between suspension bridges, truss bridges, beam bridges, just not bow bridges.
I finished my design assignment early.
You'll need to do this again. I'm giving you another chance before it's due.
Well, what's wrong with it?
This bridge is in pieces.
What do you mean?
I think that that's a teacher's job, mate. I absolutely fucking hated being on my university assignment, right? And they'd give you an assignment and you can submit it early for feedback or whatever's, and all she tell you is that's not right. And you're like, which part? Yeah, I've just wrote 5,000 words. Like, can you give a hint? You know what I mean? Is it that paragraph? Is it section 2 or 3? Or like, what is it that's wrong with it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to tell me the answer. He could have literally said to Sheldon, mate, the design of the bridge isn't good enough. Then you can go back and reflect. Why is it not good enough? Yeah, oh yeah, maybe I have to change attention. You can't just say it wrong. How are you going to learn? When I was in college, right, I had to sit an exam. It was multiple choice. And it was out of 50. And you had to get, like, I don't know, 45 out of 50 to pass. And, like, I resit it, like, 6-7 times because I failed, but it won't tell you what question you failed on. It won't tell you what subject you failed on. It won't even tell you, like, the categories that you failed on. So then the next time you go in and you get the same question, you're like, did I get that right the first time or did I not? And they don't tell you. And it's like, mate, how am I supposed to improve if nobody gives you feedback on the stuff that you telling me is wrong? So if I keep taking this test consistently and you keep giving me the same questions, I could potentially be changing questions that are correct because you're not telling me what's right, or questions that are wrong because you're not telling me what's wrong. You know what I mean? If I give you a piece of paper, I don't expect you to just say no. I expect you to say, look, mate, you know, you're on the right track. You've just not considered this, 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 and this. Go back and review it and put something else in place. You can't just say, that's wrong, bin it. It's like, well, if I draw it again, how do I know that I've left out the same bits that was there last time? Do you know what I mean? Like, a poor teaching, in my personal opinion.
What is this man's problem?
I don't know. He didn't even use a ruler. He just ripped it up willy-nilly.
About a little trip to Radio Shack.
Radio Shack's not gonna make this better.
Insecure bully taking out his frustrations on a little boy.
I like my version better where I'm intimidating and not a helpless child.
Oh, that is fuming.
Recliner won't go down and I'm stuck in this chair like a damn fool.
How long you been stuck?
Are you going to help me out or not?
Grab my camera.
I realized Professor Boucher was pushing me to be the best me I could be.
I think you're going to like this one, sir.
You didn't even look at it.
Again.
Yes, sir. Oh, at least use a straight edge.
How can he be wrong that many times? He must be redoing the same stuff over again, like I was saying.
Sheldon is a very important asset to this university.
You'd like me to turn his frown upside down.
You know, when you say it, it sounds more chilling. You'll take it easy on it.
No. I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't do that.
You do realize that I'm your boss.
Do you realize that I have tenure?
What fun is it being president if I can't threaten people's jobs?
May I get back to class now?
Oh, fine. Fall off or whatever it is.
I don't think tenure's a thing in the UK. And if it is, it's a load of bollocks. And I'm just going to say, anyone that's got tenure right now, it's a load of bollocks. You don't deserve it. Yeah? What? You've been at a company for a certain amount of time that makes you just be able to just stay there, even if you're shit at your job or amazing at your job? No. No. I don't care. My dad's worked at his job for 30 years. He's no special than the person that's worked there for 5 years. You know, whoever's good at the job is good at the job. If you crap at it, see you later. You know what I mean? I think tenure's a load of crap, to be honest. I remember watching it in The Big Bang Theory where they all tried to fight for tenure so that they can have job security, which meant that they was all able to just chill and do whatever they want. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no hassle at all that they're going to get fired, or there's no goals to strive to because they're safe. I just think it's a load of nonsense, to be honest. I've never heard something so daft in my life, personally. Like this guy here, she's the person that's in charge. Her rules, what she says, should go. He shouldn't be able to just gloat around with more confidence and do whatever he wants because he can, because he's been there for a certain amount of time. I just think it's daft. However, I'm going to counter all of this by basically saying, if Sheldon's work is wrong, and it is not actually correct, and it can improve, then he's not even doing anything wrong. The only thing he's doing wrong is not giving guidance on how or what is wrong with the work that Sheldon's doing and pointing him in a direction to improve that piece. You know, like, if it actually is wrong, or it can be improved so it's not an A star and he keeps putting in A minuses or A's, and he's like, do it again, do it again, do it again, then that's not too bad. Now, however, if it is decent and it's passable and like it is the best it could be and he's not telling him and he just keeps making him do it, then that's different. You know, just because he's upsetting Sheldon, I don't think that's a reason why I should be called into the office by the dean or whatever she is, and I told him to take it easy and light because he's a teacher. And at the end of the day, his goal is to get everybody to get A stars or get the maximum that you can get. And if Sheldon's not getting that and his method is him trying to get there, then fairs. You know what I mean? However, the little tangent at the start about tenure is he should never be safe, regardless if he's good or bad at his job. On the flip side, if he's trying to improve Sheldon and he's not actually getting the maximum that he could get out of the paper that he's handed in, then that's fair enough. Just give him some guidance and tell him where. Maybe Sheldon's doing the same thing over and over again because he don't really know what's actually wrong with it.
Soup's on.
Well, looks good.
What'd she have you doing for her?
Well, for the sake of honesty and because she might tell you, I was helping her take a shower.
So she was naked.
Knew I shouldn't have been honest.
You shouldn't have been playing bathroom attendant.
There was nothing sexy about it. It was like washing a car. I was helping her in the shower so she didn't fall down. What are you doing?
Watching Sheldon struggle with homework.
No.
I can't figure out this engineering project, and every time I turn it in, my professor just rips it up.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
We're both in the army, and you're both crabby and impatient. There's a lot of common ground.
Really got into this guy's skin, huh?
It would seem so.
Wanted to see if you need anything. Help in the shower.
Last time he saw me naked, gravity was on my side.
Tons of friends.
I've got acquaintances. I've learned exactly people you want looking at your hernia scar. That hernia by dragging him onto the bed one night. He came in passed out drunk.
I'll be happy to hose you off in the backyard.
I spent a lot of time polishing that turd, and you get all the benefits.
Well, I think we can both agree. He is one lucky turd.
I was in the Army, too. I'm all for being strict, but he doesn't even know where he's going wrong. Put him in the right direction.
You mean give him the answer? What do you think? No, I didn't give you the answer and you figured it out. Coddling him won't prepare him for the real world. Sometimes you have to break them down to build them back up.
I'll do that with my football players.
Get it, what he's trying to say, but he's not really teaching him though, is it? Like, my complaint about this is, like, he's a teacher, and so far all he's done is not teach. Like, at the end of the day. I understand what he was saying there. He was putting George in a situation. See, the difference is with that one there, is he was giving George a bit of nudge into a direction that gave him some information that could help him solve an issue. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, George didn't just go in there and then just get a stone cold nothing and then solve something. George said something, he countered. George was like, blah, 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 blah. He figured it out. Sheldon goes in there, here's a bridge, rip. Okay, here's a rip. Give him a direction. Where's it going wrong? This is what I was saying before. How can you fix something if you don't know it's broke? You know what I'm saying? And you keep... Also, if I just keep giving... You give me something, I just keep binning it. You're going to be like, mate, what is actually... Why don't you like it? Why am I going wrong? Do you know what I mean? Tell me why. And that... You don't want the answer. He wants the reason why you're saying it's wrong. It's wrong because this is in it. Sort it out. That's not giving anybody an answer. You're not even telling him how to improve it. It's wrong because you've not put that in it. Go do research and figure out what should be there. This is missing this. Go figure it out. Not doing any of that. He's just been in it.
Did you talk to my teacher?
I did.
So, is he going to tell me what I'm doing wrong?
I'm going to. You're sitting here waiting to be handed the answer, and that's not how life is. Now, instead of pouting, take charge of your own life.
He's going to see an equation and figure it out.
Of course.
Wind can trigger vibrations. If these vibrations occur at a system's resonant frequency, then oscillation generates excitation, and a bridge can lose its structural integrity.
No! I figured it out! It's wind! It's wind!
That's your problem with engineering?
Evidently. I'll admit, at first I had a chip on my shoulder because of that class. Then it was mostly you.
I understand you locked Sheldon out of class.
Well, he was late. That's my policy.
Tell me exactly what his face looked like when it... I want to feel like I was the one who closed that door.
What's the door of that smug look he has?
I know it well. You have turned my frown upside down.
You know, I actually like her. I feel like she's got a bubbly personality. She's quite decent. But regardless of Sheldon figuring it out, I disagree with that whole teaching method. I disagree with all of it. And that's my personal opinion. I'll die on that sword. You know, that's an opinion though. This is the thing that people don't understand about opinions. It's just because I say it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you have your opinion, yours is not true. Unless it's fact. You know, unless it's a fact that I'm sat here right now talking to you and that was your opinion, you know, it's a all in agreement. If your opinion is I'm not here talking to you, then it's like, well, that's clearly wrong because it's a fact that I am. However, opinions, we all have them. You know what I'm saying? And we all have our own procedures and what we think's the best way of teaching and engaging. And I personally think that interaction and like commentary, direction is the way to go. You know, if my kid comes up to me and says, Dad, read this homework, is it correct? And I'll say no. I'm not just going to say no and give it the back. I'm going to say no, questions 1, 2, and 3 are wrong. Figure out why and consider doing this. Is this paragraph that I wrote out correct? No. Why? You're missing punctuality and grammar. Do you know what I mean? You're missing like punctuation. You're not getting enough full stops, periods, whatever's, commas, apostrophes. Review that. Make sure you got it correct. I haven't told you the answer. I haven't told you what words you're missing, where the comma's supposed to go. I haven't told you where the periods are. I've guided you. That's the whole point. How is anybody supposed to learn? This is like my take on this whole thing. He did get the answer, Sheldon, and in the end, he obviously got it correct. But my personal opinion, again, mine, is if somebody wants to learn and educate themselves, if they're doing something incorrect, they need to be steered into the right direction. Not spoon-fed and handed the answers. They need to be advised and pushed and encouraged to do research and look in the right field. You come to me with an answer and you got it incorrect, I'm not just going to dismiss it and throw it away. I'm going to steer you in the positive direction to help you then engage your own mind to figure out why I've steered you into that direction and what is it that my work is missing and how can I improve it. And that's my opinion on teaching. It's not saying yes and no, correct and incorrect. It's about giving advice and direction to people to improve. And I don't think he done any of that in that episode, to be honest. I think that he was just trying to show that he's smart and that's his way. I mean, fair play, he was intimidating. I liked his way that he locked the door. But I personally feel like the way it was addressed, I would not like that learning technique if I was in school. I mean, it obviously worked with Sheldon, but in my opinion, you know, I would struggle in a class like that because I would rather be told that that answer is incorrect, reconsider this, and then go back and try and work it out again. That way I can engage my mind, I can research it, and I can educate myself on why it was previously wrong and why it is now. Instead of me just sitting there scratching my head for hours on end, not having a clue what direction I was going. Okay, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks for checking out today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So, I'm interested to see what your opinions are, obviously, on teaching methods and what works best for you. Obviously, I'm not going to discuss my thing anymore in terms of that because you've just heard it in the episode. But everybody's different. I'd like to hear your comments now. Interestingly as well, we didn't really see any bit of Georgie in today's episode, did we? After helping his grandma last episode did the store. However, we did see you involved with literally forgot June. I was going to say, I forgot her name, blanked out there. June, you know, she's done something to her legs. It's in a cast and she's sat on her own and she needs a bit of help. You know, they've gone round to help her, but then she's had to call Dale to come round another time when she needed a shower. Well, it was to get off the sofa as well, wasn't it? She was stuck on a recliner. He's gone round, ended up helping her in the shower. Now, from Connie's point of view, I understand why she might feel a little bit intimidated, a little bit upset, kind of, I don't know, a bit awkward about the situation that her, obviously, current boyfriend is helping his ex-wife shower. You know, even though they're friends as well, it's still a bit strange feeling. And I totally get that and understand it. And, you know, when she went round and she was talking to June about it, on the flip side is, you know, you got to listen to both sides of the stories. And she's basically saying that, you know, being in her situation, being her age and being a single person, like, it's tough. And, you know, when you got to get into these situations where you got to get in the shower or you need somebody there, you know, like, you haven't got anybody by your side. Dale's been there a lot of the years for her. They may not be together now, but, like, she's not awkward and she feels comfortable around him. And she don't really want to get some stranger, some person, some random guy off the street to come in and help her. She'd rather be comfortable around somebody that she knows. And I kind of understand that as well. You know, maybe the best way to kind of address those situations would be if June needed some help and Dale went round, that Connie went as well, and she'd sit down and have a brew. Do you know what I mean? Have a coffee or a tea, or get the TV on, while obviously helps her, you know, do a bit of chores around the house, helps her get changed or something, because yeah, it would be you know, stressful and a bit hard as well, especially being on your own as well. I'm not saying that they're old people, but like in general they are old, aren't they, compared to the rest of the cast, and you need looking after. You can't really do things all for yourself anymore. It's always nice to have somebody there and helping you push through it. So I totally get it. You know, from Connie's perspective, I wouldn't really like it. It'd be kind of, I wouldn't say upset, but a little bit, I wouldn't know if the word was jealous, to be honest. A bit like awkward. I feel a bit strange about it, and you know, but from the other perspective, I'd understand why she wants to feel comfortable around somebody being in those kind of vulnerable positions at her age. So if it's interesting, don't really blame any of them. It's a pretty good episode, to be honest. I did enjoy it. Thanks for checking it out. If you enjoyed it too, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.